good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, whenever you're watching this pre-record. Welcome to Thfc Till I Die, the preview to our Champions League game away to Sports Lisbon. Joining me on this stream is the godfather of all the channels, Philip. How are you today, Philip? And how are you getting on?
Very good, Dermot. Looking forward to this game tomorrow night. It's going to be a very interesting one, especially with there's a Spurs angle on the Sporting Lisbon team that a lot of people may not know about, and which we'll inform them about later on, no doubt.
Yes, we will. Philip, I just want to get your thoughts very quickly on the Premier League and how bad they have been for notifying fans about the Premier League this weekend. Now, the EFL have announced that games can resume as from tonight. For this game's tomorrow night, and Thursday night. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. The Scottish FA say their professional football can resume now up in Scotland, with Rangers' game being put back 24 hours because of the policing issues up in Glasgow. And also, Arsenal's game's been called off in London due to policing issue with their game, Europa League, on Thursday against PSV Eindhoven. Now, what does that bode for the Premier League, and how disappointed are you with the Premier League with them not informing fans as quickly as the EFL and other organisations have?
It's typical. It's typical FA. Their care and attention to the fan base of every club in the country is abysmal. They don't care. They don't care. There's people flying in from all over the world for these matches at the weekend. They're probably going to lose thousands of pounds on flights that are uncancelable because they just do not know what's happening. I mean, I think it's disgraceful. The EFL and Scottish League have got their act together. They've done it. Now, is it because of isn't one of the royal family very high up in the FA or honorary president or something or other?
As far as I know, Charles's son William is the president of the FA.
Yeah, well, maybe they're scared of offending him by going ahead. But I think I know one thing. I'd say the Queen would love the games to go ahead. She wouldn't want anybody mourning after or putting extra pressure on teams to finish out their season. It's bad enough this year with the World Cup, without having 2 or 3 more matches foisted on at the end of the season. Yeah, it's an absolute joke, and the FA have to get their finger out soon, or else there is going to be problems. I mean, there's going to be, I know it's not probably the time for protests and whatever, but the people have taken to the streets to mourn the Queen. All it's going to take is a few hotheads to go out there and start shouting the odds about the matches being postponed and causing civil unrest. It's really bad. And I know I've got a vested interest. I'm supposed to be going to the Leicester match on Saturday.
Yeah, that's the point I was going to make. Is it an FA problem? Yeah, is it FA? Sorry for didn't mean to overtalk you there. Is it an FA problem or is it a Premier League problem? Who's at fault here?
Whoever, I don't really care. Whoever makes the decisions is not doing their job. The police, I think the FA or the government have left it up to the various footballing authorities to make their own decision, which again is another cop out. But that's what you expect from a government. But they're going to have to. Someone is going to have to take issue or take responsibility, make that decision, and make it today.
Yeah, I mean, as you say yourself, Philip, you've got tickets to go over on Saturday with Ollie. You've made arrangements like, of course, the strikes were due on. You had buses booked, you had taxis booked. Yeah. I mean, you're never going to get your money back of Ryanair. We all know they're the tightest airliner in the world to get money off. You may get your money back off the taxis or the bus fare, and you may get your ticket refunded or changed to the rearranged game if it is called off. But that doesn't help you. I mean, we're now on Monday. You flying out Saturday morning, you need to know because you've put other things into place, for going away.
That's it.
So it doesn't help you at the end of the day, does it?
One thing is, I'm only a minor cog in the wheel. I mean, we know that people fly in from all over the world to see Spurs. I'm sure there's probably hundreds of fans coming in from Korea to see Son Heung-min, and you can imagine that the anxiety they're feeling at the moment. Yeah, they don't know if they're going to make the trip. And I mean, let's face it, a trip from Dublin to Stansted is buttons compared to what they're paying for their flights in from Seoul to Heathrow. So, it's really, really bad. And it's total lack of thought, foresight. And may I say it, it's a total lack of respect for the people who actually pay the players' wages.
Yeah. And again, Philip, I'll say it before and I'll say it again, it's the fans are always last to know. Always the worst.
We're the last to be considered in anything. And this is another case of this today. Like I see the Arsenal game be postponed because of policing issues. Now, that's Thursday. That's 4 days before the funeral. I think the crowds are going to descend in London over the weekend. So Saturday is going to be an even busier day for the police. So where does that leave our game, really?
Yeah. And also, you've got the world leaders flying in as well. You've got presidents, prime ministers, heads of state flying in. So, I mean, there have been talks about doing it as a reverse fixture. Yeah, because you're head of state of Ireland, Philip. So you and Ollie will get the VIP treatment through state.
I tell you, I don't think most of those dignitaries are flying in on Ryanair, so they're safe enough. I did see somewhere that Leicester Sharks or Leicester Tigers, or whoever Leicester share their ground with, are actually playing at home next Saturday. So that's ruled that one out, if that's the case.
I just think it's been badly done. Before we go any further, Philip, I just want to say this stream again has been sponsored by Digital Spurs. Thank you very much. If you want to go to digitalspurs.com, where you can get flags, t-shirts, and everything done with Harry Kane, Son, your favorite players on t-shirts, mugs, caps, flags, whatever. Go to digitalspurs.com, and we are going to start up a merchandise for with our logo on jumpers and flags and stuff, and that will be put on our website. At the moment it's being done, and it will be on www.thfc-i-die.com. So we will give you more information as that comes back. But again, this has been sponsored by Digital Spurs, and big up to Digital Spurs, and thank you very much for sponsoring our channel. Right, Philip, we have a little game tomorrow with Sporting Lisbon. Now, this is Sporting Lisbon's last 5 games. They lost the last 2. But, Philip, their last 3, they've actually scored for 8. They've scored 9 goals and conceded none, and including the 3-0 win over Frankfurt. Does that worry you, considering we, in our last 3 games, we've only scored 5 goals and we conceded 2. Does that worry you that we're finding it hard to break down?
It's always a worry when you play a team from another league that you might not know that much about, really. You know, I mean, they're obviously they're Sporting Lisbon are one of the big 3 in Portugal, along with Benfica and Porto, and they've had actually. I was just reading their history. They've had a very similar financial problems as we've had in Tottenham. I think they had debts of over 200 million there at the start of the decade. So they've had their problems, and but they've come out of it, and they have a decent team, and a team that can go to Eintracht Frankfurt, who won the Europa League last season, and who got the number 1 pot in the draw because of that. They're not really a pot 1 team, so it was a good win, but I wouldn't be absolutely getting too worked up about it, because Eintracht Frankfurt are not a great team. But for us to go there tomorrow, they will want to put one over on the big team. They want to put one over on Antonio Conte as well. Yeah. So, and I think it's going to be a tricky match. But then again, they've been playing, what would you say, standard, not dog standard, but not a great standard team in Portugal. They have not faced the likes of Harry Kane, Richarlison, Kulusevski, or Son yet. I think that could be absolutely crucial tomorrow night.
Yeah. I think it will. I think we'll go over there in great confidence. I think we will. I think we should get a good result over there. Though Sporting Lisbon are not a team to be messed with. As I said, they haven't conceded in the last 3 games, and we do struggle. I mean, you look at the Marseille game. We struggled for 70-odd minutes just to break them down.
I just keep thinking the way Spurs are playing at the moment, I class them to be like, the way a caterpillar turns into a butterfly.
Yeah.
And with all the beautiful colours, and it looked really nice to look at. I think that's the way Spurs are going at the moment. We're still in the butterfly, still in the caterpillar stage. But once we get to the butterfly stage, God help anybody that gets near us, because we're crucified.
But you know what, Philip? I love that analogy. I really did. That's just brilliant. That's absolutely fantastic. And as for Spurs, our last 5 games, well, really our last 7 games, we're actually unbeaten. We're actually unbeaten, I think, in our last 15 games from the end of last season. Spurs are having a great start to the season. Conte's sort of getting his message through, how he wants the team to play, how he wants to do. Do you agree that Spurs are a slow burner this year, and when we go, we will go? or do you put it down to a lack of pre-season because of the World Cup that we really haven't got going yet? What would you put it down to?
I think we had a good pre-season, really. Like that was Conte's first full pre-season with the squad. And I think I wouldn't complain about the pre-season. The World Cup is going to be an issue, obviously, because it's going to cut the season in half, basically.
Yeah.
It's like having 2 seasons in one. Slow burn. We have been a slow burner. We've won matches we haven't played well in, which I think is absolutely brilliant, because you could actually play very well in a match and still get beaten. But we're doing the opposite routine. So we can only get better. Whereas, like, remember last season, we won the first 3 games and suddenly hit the wall completely. That hasn't happened this time.
No.
We're so much stronger. We've got so much more resilience. We've got so much more willpower in that team. Plus the fact none of those guys want to face Conte after a loss. Can you imagine going to the dressing room after a bad game? Stretching themselves off the wall after half an hour.
I mean, I watched that 73 League Cup final yesterday, and you could see, or was it 71, and you could see the Bill Nick get so animated on the touchline. You could see him going, come on, get going. And it's like Conte. The players feed off that, I think. And I think the players, when they see Conte, I think psychologically they're thinking, shit, we need to start playing here, because if we don't, we're going to get it at half-time.
We don't want to get one of his tongue lashings.
That first half, though, was really poor, though, against Marseille. If we just talk about that for a bit, that was an awful first half.
It was as if we conceded territory to them, which I don't think is ever a good thing, because, I mean, okay, Marseille mightn't be in the Premiership standard, but they're second in La Liga, or the French League, League One. They were unbeaten, I think, until we got them. So, they've some decent players, even though they've a smattering of Arsenal rejects in their squad and a couple of West Ham reject as well. My worry about that night against Marseille was, if they hadn't had a player sent off, what would have happened? Would we have actually got the result? We're playing 10 men for 46 minutes.
Yeah. I think it would have ended 0-0 myself, personally.
I have a feeling you might be right, but the fact is we didn't. We kept at it, and that's what I love about the Spurs team at the moment. They never say die attitude. It's keep going till you get a break. And plus the fitness levels were good again. We were pushing near the end there for another goal. And it was nearly Marseille that nearly got it, only for Ben Davis's fantastic interception. But it was a worry. We've got to start dominating matches from the start. That's my wish. Spurs come out in minute 1, dominate the ball, pass the other team to death. That hasn't happened yet. It will happen, but it just hasn't happened yet. But we also seem to be keeping something in reserve, because other teams are not able to score against us, really.
No. It reminds me of the POCH years, where we sort of ended games more fitter than the opposition. We seem to have that extra gear, but we just can't unlock that extra gear at the moment for whatever reason. Do you know, Richarlison, for me, Philip, brilliant, get his 2 goals for Spurs, both well taken headers. I was over the moon for him. Do you know, he's proved he's worth 60 million, and he has started to pay that money back now to the club. Do you think like myself that Kulusevski could not be, Richarlison might be picked for tomorrow night, or do you think if Saturday is a go ahead that he may rest Richarlison and bring Kulusevski back in the squad?
I think Richarlison has made himself pretty much undroppable at the moment.
Yeah.
I think the player that's most at risk is Son. We love him to death, but he's not firing at all. He's not even on 1 cylinder at the moment, never mind 4. Every player goes through that, and it's just happening to him at the moment. It's just unfortunate it's happening at the time where he's won the Golden Boot, or a share of the Golden Boot, and now he couldn't even find his boots, because he's just not. He's trying too hard, I think. Like I saw one occasion the other day there when he got the ball on the edge of the area, and normally Son would be looking for someone to pass to, but he tried a shot, and there was 3 Marseille players in his way. He knew he couldn't get the shot through, but he tried it anyway, because he's so desperate to get a goal. So I think Son could be the one the one that's a problem. But what a substitute to have to come on. Say we're struggling or we're losing near the end, is to bring Son on. I mean, it is our potential up front at the moment is frightening, and you've got the likes of Perez coming along, bombing down the wing as well. And we've got a firepower is really excellent at the moment. I suppose we'll hark back to the transfer window and I wish we got a centre back in. But then again, Longley has now come into the team, and the improvement of the passing out from the back with him and Romero has been absolutely brilliant in the last two matches.
It has. I mean, for myself, Philip, I mean, look, I've got the team here from Saturday, from the last game, if I can find it now. I mean, for me, I think he should start with Longley, myself personally. I think keep Davis as a backup. Do I have? No, I don't have to. I think Longley should start. I think that back three has to be kept together now for the games coming up because they get comfortable with one another.
Do you know, in a way, I agree, certainly. In a way, Saturday, the Queen's death might have worked in our advantage. I don't think Saturday was a good time to play Manchester City. No. I don't think any time is a good time to play Manchester City. But I think, if we'd have gone to City on Saturday and Haaland did a number on us, which he's probably going to do to most teams this season, it could have dented the confidence severely. What it's done now is given us an extra 3 days rest because Sporting played on Saturday, so they have a match more played than us. And so our legs should be ready to go, should be fresher for tomorrow night, And it would be... I say psychologically bad to get it. I'm not saying it would have happened because we normally do quite well up at City, but they could actually turn any team in the country over, and that includes us. Yeah. And so we've avoided that field for a while anyway, So at least we're going into the game still unbeaten, which we mightn't have been if we,
Yeah, that's so true. Well, Sporting Lisbon, as I said, have won their last three. Haven't conceded in the last three, and Tottenham have actually won their last 7, including last season. I think it's 15 games unbeaten. The game tomorrow is on the 3rd. Is at 7:45 kickoff at the Lisbon venue at the Joes. Have a lead it.
It's 5:45.
6:40.
No, 5:45.
Yeah, 17:45. Yeah, I get confused sometimes with 24 o'clock. So don't worry. Oh Lord, oh God. The referee is I'm not even gonna. He's from Serbia anyway. The referee,
Jovanovic.
Yeah. Do you have anything on Port? I know you've done a little bit digging on Sporting Lisbon there, Philip. So do you want to give a bit of info?
Yeah, they're one of the big three in Portugal. They've been through the mill. They've won a fair few trophies in their time. Again, turn of the decade there, they got into financial difficulties, which they've got out of now. They've apparently when they revamped their stadium back 20 years ago, I think the costings went up 75% more than they anticipated. So that put them under a bit of pressure. That sounds familiar. Yeah. They've always lived in the shadow of Benfica. Benfica are the team in Lisbon, but Sporting are a close second. Now, what they have got, Eric Dyer played for them back in the day, the young fella. And they have actually got a ex-Spurs player in their ranks at the minute who is playing very well and scoring goals. And who I'm a bit worried about is a guy called Marcus Edwards, who was about 4 or 5 years ago, was one of the great white hopes. He was the Dane Scarlett of his time. Mm-hmm. But whatever happened, he left the club and was never made the breakthrough, really. But now he's gone to the continent. I don't know where he went in the meantime, but he's now with Sporting Lisbon, and they absolutely love him down there. And I'm just hoping that he doesn't come back to bite us in the ass tomorrow night, as often happens with ex-players,
That's true. That is so very true. Yeah. Look, as you mentioned, it really is Dyer coming home. He started his career there. I mean, I think they've seen clips of him playing at Porto, playing Porto for Sporting Lisbon. He then come to us. Do you think Dyer would give us a bit of an insight into Sporting Lisbon? Do you think we got a bit of an advantage with him there?
I don't think so. Like he's 8 years with Spurs. Yeah. That means he's 8 years gone from foot. None of the players in Lisbon were there in his day. So all he can tell him about is how good the dressing rooms are, and if he could get a good cup of coffee after the match or something, that'd be at the height of his input in the game. So no, I don't think he'd be able to tell the players what nightclubs to avoid after the match. So no, I don't think it'll be a great help to us. It'll be nice for him to go back. I mean, it's always nice to go back to your old team, and even nicer if he scored against them.
That's true. That's so very true.
Finished second in the league last season. Finished second to Benfica, which is pretty good. They have nice colours. They're wearing a kind of a Celtic type greeny stripy shirt, which is quite nice, with hoops. I'm just seeing anything else there. They have 106,000 members of their supporters club, which is probably not great, really. No. They have the third most decorated Portuguese football team. They have 54 trophies. That's a hell of a lot of trophies. And interestingly, when Spurs won the Cup Winners' Cup in 1963, Sporting Lisbon won it the following year. So that's a little bit of continuity there. They beat a team called from Budapest, I've never even heard of, probably gone now anyway.
Yeah.
But they've won 17 Portuguese Cups, 23 league titles, 9 Super Cups, and they are 27th in the UEFA club rankings, which is, that's pretty good.
That's not bad.
We're at the moment, probably higher than that, but
Yeah, not a bad team.
No.
Look, I'm looking forward to it. It's a bit of football. We've missed Tottenham so much. Look, we're going to come to the end of this pre-match, this preview stream for the Sporting game. Just final question there, Philip. Myself, I'm hoping that Richarlison will get the nod. I think if he starts the same side that played Marseille, I think for confidence and for the back five to stick together, I think it's going to be important. I hopefully Richarlison gets to start, but you don't know. Son, would you rest Son? I wouldn't drop him because he is a world-class player. So for me, I think it would be the same side. What about you? Do you think it would be the same side, or can you see any changes CONTE might make?
I think Kulusevski will start. Will start. I have a feeling Son may be left on the bench tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think now just to rest him, if not drop him, just to rest him. Other than that, I see it pretty much the same team, although I feel possibly they might give Matt Doherty a run.
Yeah.
I feel he might get a game tomorrow. But other than the bulk of the team will be the same. Perisic out on the left. I mean, Perisic is that cross he made for Richarlison's first goal. That was right on the money. I mean, that's what we bought him. That's why we bought him. And I mean, he knows he's so experienced in Champions League football. He's got to be in that team tomorrow night.
Yeah, I don't think another player, Philip. Sorry, I know another player, Emerson.
Yeah,
I think Emerson's done well this season. A lot of people criticised him. I think Emerson's done very, very well.
But let's face it, along with Eric Dyer and Harry Winks, he was on the most everybody's. Let's get him out of the club card there for a long time last season. He's won a lot of players, a lot of footballers around, and fair dues to him. He's not everybody's cup of tea, but as long as he keeps performing the way he is at the moment, there's no reason why he wouldn't get a game. No. But I just feel because we probably have no match on Saturday and whatever, I think possibly Doherty might just get a run, seeing as he came on there late against Marseille. Just get a run. But listen, who knows what Antonio's thinking? We'll just have to wait and see. And trust him, whatever team he puts out.
That's it. And what's your score prediction for tomorrow?
2-1 to Spurs.
Yeah. Well, I'm going for a 3-0 win. I'm so confident we're going to go over there. We're going to whip them. Harry's going to get one. I think Richarlison will get his second goal. And I'm actually going for Hojbjerg. I hope Ellie now. I've got it right at last. Hojbjerg will get on one as well because I think he's been immense this season. I think he really has and Bentacle in that midfield.
And just a word to the Spurs fans: Lisbon is an absolutely beautiful city. If you get a chance, have a look around the square and down by the harbour there. It's absolutely beautiful, and they're very friendly people as well. And they mightn't be too friendly if we beat their local heroes, but they're nice. They're lovely people, and it's a beautiful city. Couldn't we go into a better place on a Tuesday night?
No. Well, look. If you're going out there, be careful, enjoy yourself, have a few beers, shout for Tottenham, behave yourselves, and let's hope for 3 points. Look, we'll be on tomorrow night.
The Portuguese custard tarts are beautiful.
Yeah, there you go. But I'm going there now. I'm getting my bags back. I'm off to Portugal just because of the tarts. The custard tarts, I'm gone. Look, we will be doing the watch along tomorrow night. Me, Shamu, and I think Izan, Philip's going to be Ringo Starr in Dublin again, doing these rock bands, and then Philip will be back later in the week. Look, we don't know what's going to happen with the Premier League fixtures. If anything breaks between now and then, we will go live and we will give you the up-to-date information. But look, as far as I know, it's in the hands between the police and the Premier League. So we have to wait and see. But I think it's disgusting how this has been dragged on. They were quick enough to postpone the games at the weekend. I think they should be quick enough to come out for fans that are coming into the country. But look, who knows? And look, we've got tomorrow night, so let's enjoy tomorrow night. Philip, thank you so much for joining me as normal.
Pleasure as always.
And We will be back tomorrow night, 5:30 for the watch along, and we're then back. Whatever happens the weekend, we'll come on with some content for you, and old or new, and it's come on you Spurs.
Come on you Spurs.